All right, there we go. Hey, guys.
Hey, world. This is Kimberly and Connor Tracy here with Big Red SEO with our weekly recap. How are you guys doing? We hope you're doing fantastic with us being in 2019, full throttle. We are a husband and wife team here based in Omaha, Nebraska, Exarban Village specifically. And we do a lot of magical stuff here in our corner. Kind of in a recap, we help businesses find their ideal clients, as well as help ideal clients find businesses for services, products, and different information that they want and need. And we've been doing this gig a little over 9 years now.
Did you say our names?
It's at the very beginning.
You did? Okay.
At the very beginning.
Well, there you go.
At the very beginning.
I wasn't paying attention to any of that. I'm sure you weren't either.
So how we help people as well as businesses is we do website designs primarily in WordPress, as well as we're really known for our search engine optimization services. So it's SEO services as well as paid per click, right? But enough of the sales process. I just wanted you to know who we are in case you're watching live as well as the replay, right? Throughout this process, we're going to go through a couple different updates. We have committed to do this weekly recap. As Connor says in the text, it's episode 369.
What?
That's going to be super excited whenever we get to that level of that number, right? He says, holy crap. I'm like, yes, that's super exciting.
So that is incorrect. It's episode 39.
Yeah, I think we're actually episode 39. So a while back, we decided to hop in here, figure out how can we help businesses, how can we help our friends and our family that follow us here on Facebook. This is on the Big Red SEO page, so if you like what we put on here, feel free to follow us and become a fan. But we do cross-share this into our personal pages as well.
Yep.
But enough of all that. Connor, what is going on in your world?
I'm now done with my phone and my sharing and all that fun stuff. I need a better way to automate that. So if somebody else has a better way of automating that sharing of the go live, let me know and I'll make that happen on my end. So
it's super cool. I can continue talking forever, people.
Yep.
Like forever. If you know me, I like to talk.
Well, you get to do your share now.
Yeah. So what's going on in the SEO world, as well as like Google AdWords? Like what's important for people to know?
Yep. So there's a handful of different things that I put onto our list earlier today. Couple of big ones. Adobe came out with a new security patch that was released today. It's a new exploit both for Windows and for Mac. So they have put out 2 updates. So please go make your updates. I believe it's just for the Adobe Reader, but just double check your subscription and make sure that's up to date. So that's the big one from a security standpoint. The other stuff that was going on, so there's one of the things that was actually kind of cool, I saw the announcement yesterday on it, and it was from WordPress.com. Basically, they're running a whole brand new campaign, and the whole thing of it is called Do Anything, and that's their campaign thing. So over the last couple of years, they've been doing better about marketing campaigns, and this one now is the Do Anything, kind of to showcase that WordPress can literally do anything. And we've been using WordPress since it started. So at 15 years, I think?
Yeah, for you, for sure. 9
for me,
probably
yes.
Comfortably for me. I think I kind of like doubt, just as true confession, when we not to sidebar you, but when we very first started, Connor likes to teach by having hands and kind of throwing people into the deep end, right? So if you know me, you know I'm an excellent teacher. I can thank this guy a lot for that, right? And I'm also really good at what I do for a living. I can thank this guy for that too. So the very first 30 days that I was actually in business, so Big Red SEO as a website designer, right guys? He had me go out and sell 10 websites for $99 because my goal was I needed to make $1,000 to pay student loans, rent, and all that stuff because I'm Miss Independent, right? And so I went out and I did 10 designs for $99. And it was by far the most intense and challenging situation I had ever been in. Golden gems coming forward, you guys might be able to apply this in your own life, is that 1, I learned how to set expectations in projects. I learned how to communicate effectively with clients as well as projects. I learned that time is money. So whether you want to say it or you don't want to say it, time is money, right? 4, I learned really, really quickly who my ideal clients were at the time and who they were not, right? So that was a huge, huge lesson. It's changed quite a bit now, fast forward into the business, right?
Yep.
But then 5, I got my hands dirty and I had to learn how to do things quickly and efficiently and not easiest way to say it, dick around, holly dolly around. My brain and my person got to learn how to just do things very, very quickly, very fast, because I knew I had to get these. I had to get these done within a 4-week to 6-week time frame, right?
Yep.
So anyway, we primarily work in WordPress. We have experience in everything and anything, right? But my dive deep into WordPress was from this guy doing 10 designs for $99 each. It's fascinating. One of the clients is still with us today, and one of our best clients in the world. I say that to every client. So if you are a client, you are the best client. But anyway, back to you.
Could you imagine now, so here we are, 2019, could you imagine now doing a WordPress design for $100?
I honestly, there's so much awesomeness here, right? So but also I think where we're a little different, to add to that, is we do so much more than just website design, right? So like before it was, oh, you want this? And what I didn't realize in the 99 designs, well, not to say 99 designs, it's a totally separate thing. Don't even say that. Like blurb. No, but for the cost for $99, I think what I didn't realize at the time, which is cool that I know it now, was that I was doing more than designing. I was actually helping people build their businesses. So would I build a business for $99? Hell to the heck no. Would I build a website for $99? Absolutely not. Not even a splash page. Like, that's not our going rate. That's not my going rate. Add light workers in there and it jacks up, because here's the deal, and a lot of people don't want to see this, but universal laws, you need to invest in order to get the main enchilada of the business going, right? So no, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole for $99.
From a $99 aspect, I mean, that's barely enough to get on the phone to have a strategy about what it is that you're looking to do.
Yeah, it's totally different though, right?
It's not to be a dick, and it's not to be anything about pricing, but it's just, looking back, 10 years ago, it was critical that you did some quick designs and learned that system as quick as possible.
Oh, and let me tell you, those friends, those people that I sold to, they even wanted a discount at $99. So it's no defense to them. Like, cool, they helped teach me, I helped learn. Hey, Carolina, how are you? I learned, I figured it out, right? But I think anytime in business, a lot of times people want to get into business and they want to discount. If you guys have been around me for a long time, you know that I hammer in the value, I hammer in what's your skills, what are you doing, A, B, and C. We can do a whole different webinar for that. So if you're interested, let me know. I could build a curriculum. Yep. But at the end of the day, I personally would not do a design for $99, right? So time and this skill is of extreme value. I actually go in and I help people build their businesses and not waste time. So I'm not interested in, we're not interested in driving 10,000 visitors to a website where nobody's going to buy, right? There's a lot of people out there that's their marketing techniques. We don't instill fear. We don't instill, oh, you have to do this. If you don't, you're going to fail. Fuck that. Like, that is just horrible, horrible advice. If you get that anywhere, run to the hills and don't look back. I have a huge belief that when you're doing business and you're doing it authentically and you're adding your true value, your true signature value, no matter what the dollar sign is, you're gonna convert. But the key in the human and soul, so I'm blending it here, the key is you have to actually build your own skill to feel like you're worth that value, right? You could fake it and make it for a while. This guy here, when I tell him to go issue an invoice, he sweats under his pits and he's like, how am I going to get paid for the work that I've already performed? And I'm like, send the fucking invoice. Like, people are going to pay you. They already know.
Right.
So there's a couple different dynamics going on there, but long story short, would I do a $99 website design today for somebody? No. Like, it's not going to happen, guys. And rightfully so. But I had to learn that skill. I had to experience it. And there were so many different lessons. So when you build and start a business, you might give a discount to get a couple clients in to gain confidence, to figure out your processes, right? So, like, I wouldn't change the past. If I was starting the design business again and did it all over 10 years ago, I would still pick to do those 10 damn designs at $99. I learned so much, right? And I learned how to be a really good leader and a really good marketing person. So back to you, Connor. This is the Kim show. What's going on?
So anyway, basically WordPress is putting out and doing the marketing campaign for the do anything, and it's to allow WordPress to do literally anything. So whether it's a small website, whether it's a starting
Yeah.
out website, if you're trying to learn how to build the things on your own, or you're looking to build a website that is 30 grand, and has 100,000 products in it, and a membership system, and a newsletter system, and all
Yeah.
of that. They're all things that we've done with the WordPress system and never really had too much of a problem. Now, there is a caveat to that, is that when you start putting in that many pages, when you start putting in 10,000 pages and 100,000 products, you're going to need a better hosting company than a $3 a month hosting.
Yeah. You had that happen this week.
I had that happen yesterday. So anyways, so I'll move forward from there, but basically WordPress is doing their new campaign. There is some new stuff going on with Google. They made some updates back right at the end of the year where they changed the search engine console, and that's an area that if you have your own website, you can upload a file to have access to Google search engine console. Used to be called the Webmaster Tools. But in there, you're able to see just what pages are being indexed by Google, when the last time it was indexed, if there's any issues. You can see some of the text that people are typing in to find your website. So all that information is in there. But over the last 6 months, Google was changing the process, or changing the dashboards. And there's a brand new dashboard that they've used. And as of December, the middle of December there last year, everything has kind of moved over to the new console. So there's new reports in there. It's still good, and it's good for 99% of the people. Me, of course, you move the cheese and I kind of freak out a little bit.
Connor, you do not like your cheese moved at all. This guy, I'm like the water in the river rapids. If that is what you say, I move and adjust and go and adapt and all this stuff. And this guy's like, don't. He doesn't even like cheese, first off, guys.
No.
And then to move his
and
cheese is like the world is over.
I already put it in the trash.
So I
Don't move
constantly help him and mentor and teach him and pull him. And this is the dynamics of a relationship as well. So, hey, really quickly, Allison joined us. Allison!
Hey,
how
Allison.
are you? She had beautiful baby twins. I've been stalking her a little bit. I don't want kids. I don't want kids. I want to pamper your kiddos. And then her other little one, there was a picture, and then her daughter, they were all together in the hospital. It was super cool. So congratulations, Allison. Super excited.
And Larry just joined. You're downstairs, a couple doors down the way from our office.
Larry here?
Yep.
Oh, hi, Larry. Do I know Larry?
Yes, you do.
Oh, good. I thought I saw your face just now whenever it said it, and I was like, well, maybe it's not Larry.
Down
I don't know. Yeah.
Rex. There we go. So anyway, the console has changed. Just have a look in there, but they are adding some new reports in there. So that's kind of a big deal that's happening. One of the big things, so the last couple of episodes we were talking about Google Posts and how many SEO companies don't take advantage of it.
Just companies in general, not just SEO.
Companies in general don't take advantage of it.
Yeah. Carry on.
So in one of either the last episode or the one before that, we were talking about that Google has moved the posts area.
Yeah.
They put it down at the bottom now. When you do a search for a company,
Yep.
the posts are at the bottom. And we were reporting, and everybody was seeing online that you're getting less traffic that's coming through those posts.
Yeah.
Google must have heard what's going on and noticed that there was an issue with that, because they're currently doing testing of bringing those posts back to the top.
Yeah. There was it's interesting because there was a time frame, and you guys can watch other episodes as well. I
think it was episode 36.
We probably need to capture an image of this next time so people know exactly what we're talking about.
Sure.
With the cool new software Connor's got. But anyway, the point being is Google specifically. We talk about Google a lot, guys. There's multiple other search engines out there. They're just kind of the biggest one out there. Essentially, knock on wood, they stay that way. Mm-hmm. But they test different stuff all the time. So you have your website, right? You market your website. You might do a blog to add content. Part of that adds into the SEO process. This is just us breaking it down 411 for you. You can drive traffic to your website. The longer that they stay on it, the more engaged they get into your content. The deeper the pages go, the more bonus points you could possibly get with the search engines, i.e. Google. But there's the Google My Business part adds something separate. So any business can register for it. You can be home-based. You can not be home-based. So imagine that you do a Google search. This is where my keyword is when I Google search. Imagine you do a Google search for Big Red SEO. When it pops up, our website's going to be on the left-hand side, but you'll see our maps and our pictures and images and address and all that stuff. That is actually the Google information area, right? So if you click into that, that is classified as your Google My Business page, okay? So within the Google information area, people can leave reviews. You can upload as many images as you want. You can actually upload videos as well.
Yep.
There's some different practices that we would recommend in managing that, but within that area as well, right below it is where the Google Posts is located.
Yep.
So just a quick tip, hijack tip, whatever. You can create a blog article and then take a small snippet of that blog article, not the exact content, rewrite the content, and then you can actually put that in your Google My Business Post section, and you can get credit for both. We've actually received a lot of leads from the Google My Business, knock on woods. Maybe our competition will up it up and do it themselves. I don't know.
If you're watching this competition, hello.
Oh, follow us. We're hired.
There's
we're,
a reason
we're
you're
for hire,
watching
right?
us and we're not watching.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so like the thing is there's multiple different areas. So it is becoming more popular for people to do Google searches and go into the Google My Business page before they even go to the website, right? Yep. So the website link is in the Google My Business as well. So just a couple little hidden tips. Go back and look at our other episodes for more information on different areas to be able to do that.
Yep.
But it doesn't matter what industry that you're in. If you're home-based or you're business-based or a storefront, you can do a Google My Business page, right? You can go through that process.
You do need to get verified. So that's either going to be by mail or by phone.
By phone number.
So you have to have an address in there that is in whatever area you're saying that you're in business.
And I don't remember.
But you can hide your address so it doesn't show for everybody else.
I don't remember. Do they require you to be an LLC or an S Corp?
Nope.
Is that part of the verification? Okay.
Nope.
So we recommend doing that anyway from a legal area. Get your business established to get it legal or whatever. Just add that to the list as well. Don't. It's like we've had like people have nightmares of they never registered their business and it didn't go very well. But either way, those are a couple different tips for you to look at. But the Google My Business post, I'm super excited that they're going to bring it back to the top because people are going in now. Now people kind of get a little confused in the percentage of how many people actually scroll down the page is very small, honestly.
Yep.
People usually just ADD, they go and type in a different word or different phrase or different stuff, which is super fun to do.
So to get to all of that, go to google.com/business and that'll get you into your Google My Business or the GMB console area.
Yeah.
So speaking of the whole Google end of things, one of the other things that had come up earlier this week, there was an article in the New York Times that the person doing the article was saying that 50% and more of the people, so more than 50%, can't tell the difference between a Google ad and a organic listing inside of
interesting.
Google.
Yeah.
So they did a whole expose thing on it and whatnot. Google did respond and they said no, that people between this age and this age can tell that this is an ad and that's organic. Now, the jury's out as to what way. Myself, I know I can tell the difference between ads.
Right.
And any millennial that I know more or less can tell the difference between ads. But in different demographics and different sectors, you may not be able to tell the difference between an ad and an organic listing.
Yeah, I think it depends on personally, I think it depends on the person's awareness. Are they aware? Are they not? So Google ads before would be like super colorful, right? This was like 4 years ago, maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah, like an orange background.
It was like super big and like you would know that you're leading into an ad, right?
And the ads were on the right-hand side at that stage.
Yeah, so it's like they've designed it different. Now there's like a small little square and they change different colors to test and stuff like that. But I think like people are probably just also confused because with search engines like Google testing, they're moving stuff, shifting stuff, ads, not ads. Depends on the business, right? So we've talked about this before in previous videos. If you have a locksmith company and somebody calls you because they're locked out of their car, they're not going to give two shits if they click an ad or organic or Google My Business. They just want somebody to call. By the way, if you know a locksmith that's local that really is passionate about what they do, get us in contact with us. We've got some cool techniques for them. But yeah, so like I think it depends on the situation, the business, the product, the scenario. And then I think people just are numb in the fact that they just click and go. They just want the answers, right?
Yep.
So what kind of other updates do you have there?
So the other big one that, the last couple of weeks we've been talking about different softwares to use and so forth, even free softwares. And one that we have used for about the last year. So I do a lot of my stuff in Photoshop.
Yeah.
You do quite a bit of image editing now in Photoshop, but when our Photoshop...
I held my breath. I'm like, I do, but I don't like it.
When we're on a different computer, that we may not have the software installed, or if we're doing something really quick, one of the websites that we use is Photopea, Photopea. And basically, it's Photoshop within a browser, and it is free. And you can open up PSD files and layers and all that kind of fun stuff.
Right.
And I don't have a screen capture for you guys here.
It's okay. It's okay.
Photopea, we've used that in a number of situations as a quick fix instead of having to boot up Photoshop and drain the resources and so forth. So if you're looking for a good photo editor, aside from the normals that are out there, your Microsoft Paint, don't use it. GIMP
oh man,
on the Mac.
I was in Paint for years, guys. I could rock Paint like a banshee. It was crazy.
Paint, not so much.
It just it makes the file so big. That's the reason why we don't recommend Paint. And it's kind of old. I mean, it's by default installed in computers. A lot of people use it. I used it forever. So I mean, you use what you know, and you know what you do, and you do what you do until you find something better, right? So I don't know about all that.
So the other item, of course, we talked about it 2 weeks ago, was the remove.bg, which will take any pictures of people and remove the backgrounds.
You've really
That's getting
enjoyed that
a ton
one.
of more press now.
Probably because you
cool.
did a whole article about it, or you shared it online.
Yeah, I had an article on it, had videos on it. We did a little brief cover here on live. But in the last 2 weeks or so, there's been a lot of discussion, a lot of talk on that.
Yeah.
And acquisition talk. Somebody who wants to buy that to be able to then integrate that into their software. Not saying who.
We're not going to say who.
But that would be awesome when that actually rolls through.
Right.
So I'm actually looking forward to that.
Super cool.
Let's see what else. I think that's about it for now. There's a new thing, a new feature snippet that Google has done, new meta tag stuff.
Yeah.
And it's mainly dealing with live videos, like what we're doing here, that you can now mark all that up. But it's for live videos on YouTube, not on Facebook.
Yeah, cool.
So that's pretty much everything that I've got from that list.
Rock on.
What else I got?
Cool.
What else do I have on the See More over there? Anything?
I don't know what the See More is, guys.
Click the See More.
I don't know what the See More is. A couple different things. Something coming down the pipeline is make sure that you guys are, from a business standpoint, doing whatever you need to do to gain exposure and to get out of your uncomfortableness, right? Be okay with being uncomfortable, if that makes sense. And what I mean by that is, you guys know, by us doing Facebook Live, with it being episode 39, a lot of people follow this and have reached out on the replays, as well as have been able to connect with us on a personal level, as well as on a business level. We have a foundation of what this weekly recap stands for, but as you guys know, we sprinkle in some personal, we sprinkle in some business, some marketing, some tips, some business owners, some friends, family, all that jazz. In the nutshell is, we've had a lot of people reach out to ask us how we do it and what we do, right? So what I would say is that if you are in a business where you're super wicked passionate about it, maybe you start to do Facebook Lives as well, however you want to structure that. Figure out how to offer value, right? Provide some clarity, some direction. But at the end of the day, guys, we don't really have a secret recipe with it. We just do it. That's our secret recipe.
I think the big thing is, you don't have to go out and spend $2,000 or $3,000 on equipment.
Yeah.
Buying a camera, buying an amp system, buying green screens, buying lighting systems.
This guy did that because he got super excited.
Because I do all that.
But you don't, at the very beginning, we started just with our cell phones, and we started just with our computers, right?
Yeah.
So I think the whole point is to just start, right? And make an intention of what is it that you want to do, and try to figure out what the why is to keep that in. And just figure out what the overall premise is for you doing it, right? So at the end of the day, will we get business because we're doing these videos? Absolutely. But that's not the core of why we're doing it. The core of why we're doing it is that we're super wicked smart, and we have awesome skills, and we offer a lot of value. We just don't always know the questions to ask to give the answers. So these types of platforms give us the ability to share information, and then we have other people come back with questions, which helps us share down the road as well. So it's kind of like a circle in a circle.
I
in
can
a
only
circle.
talk to Kim so long, and then I've got to turn off. And then Kim can only talk to me for so long, and then
He talks
you've
to me
gotta
all
turn
the
off, so.
time. He talks to me all the time.
No,
don't believe
not
this
geek
guy.
stuff, not
believe
like
this
programming stuff or web stuff and so forth. I'll bring you up to speed, but after a while you're like, go tell somebody else.
Yeah,
like
so
Facebook.
Just a funny tidbit about us, right? Like, if you want to talk about universal law soul stuff, I will go freaking deep and fast, right? I'm like, yeah, let's do that. Like, let's talk about that. If you try to explain to me how a software works, which is where this guy loves and thrives, I kind of I stay in for only so long, and then I mentally check out, right? It's something that I'm working on becoming a little bit more patient, but I think at the end of the day, you just got to figure out what's important. Sometimes me knowing the ins and outs of software is not good for my human. I don't need to know those tasks.
Sure.
But it's an active service in the fact that I'm listening to you and giving you attention and helping that energy flow back and forth, if that makes sense. Other times I just tell him, go find somebody else to tell the software to, and then he does a Facebook Live or a
Go
video
grab
or a
cigars,
tutorial,
go talk to somebody else.
or goes to Safari here in Omaha, which I'm not sure if you're headed that way tonight.
I am.
But yeah, so there's multiple different informations and duels for our peoples.
There you go.
Peoples.
So I think on that,
Yeah.
I think we'll just go ahead and just wrap everything up and say that's that.
Oh, yeah. So
Unless you had something else you wanted to talk about.
do we have to leave?
Well, yeah.
I don't know. Do we have to leave? Yeah, so I'm trying to think really quickly for the rest of this week, because I always like taking bits and pieces of what we've had come up for clients and then help and amplify. I think so from a business level standpoint, right? It is the beginning of the month. Change your passwords, update your passwords, make a backup of your website, guys.
Yep.
We had a scenario in previous videos where there was a partner, something happened with a business, websites went down. Some could get access to it, some could not get access to it. It happened again with a different set of people. It's not us, it's not our clients. But it is really important for you as a business owner to actually own a backup of your entire website, so you don't have to invest time and money to do that again. So there's that. There's also it just being the beginning of the year, right? Figure out what your goals and your objectives are. I actually was asked today if I had a resolution or what my resolution was. And in a nonchalant way, I just let them know, hey, I don't do resolutions. I do daily intentions, right? So I do have business goals. This guy knows it. My actual mentor / coach knows it. My own human knows it. Other people don't know those goals because they're honestly, frankly, massively huge. And a lot of people can't handle that.
The dogs. One dog knows. The other one, he can't handle it.
Well, and there's stuff also that I'm building that you don't even know.
Right.
But there's there's stuff
that
we keep internally for ourselves, right? So if you want to share goals and information with other people, that's absolutely cool. That's just your way to go. For me, the reason why I chose to keep it in a small group is because I sometimes would have other people tell me that, hey, that's not possible. How are you going to do that? And then I would get confused and be like, well, I like to go 1,000 miles per hour, and they might go 5 miles per hour, right? So you just kind of figure that out. But I would say, with it being January, it's super fun time to just kind of play around and figure out, what do you want this month to be, right? What do you want to bring in? Who is your ideal client? We personally, from a business standpoint, are going to be doing some VIP events coming up soon. We're only doing a handful of them every quarter. They are an investment because we are both going to be present, and we're both going to help businesses build massive things. So if you are interested, feel free to drop in a comment. I can give you some information on that. In addition to that, I think you are going to be traveling. I'm going to be traveling. We're going to be traveling together. We're going to be traveling separate. That is one of our intentions for this specific year in general, is to just get out and get to know the people that we maybe are connected with on Facebook, but don't have daily relationships with, as well as see our beautiful country, right? So we're super excited about that too, and just being able to travel. So
I was going to make a comment, but I won't make a comment, so we'll just end it right there.
What was the comment?
Well, I was going to say we could go visit the national parks, but right now the government's shut down. So.
Can you still visit with it being shut down?
No.
You can't jump over a fence and just rogue it?
Well, you could, but now you're trespassing on federal property, and
Oh, well, you've been in an ocean.
I have.
He's been in an ocean in a different country and had guns pointed at the boat telling him to turn around. So it's not unnormal for you to jump a fence.
We were chased by gunship. So by a helicopter, U.S. Navy actually chased us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
He calls it, they were escorted back to where they needed to go.
We were escorted for 5 miles at a high rate of speed with guns pointed at us.
Yeah.
That's escorted.
Yeah, that's escorted. He felt really important in that moment. Really important. So, so with that, I think we're good to go. We've got a handful of work still left. You're going to Safari tonight. So if there's anybody in Omaha area that wants to come have some drinks and some cigars, this guy will be there. Yep. I personally will be at home woo-sawing down with some ohms in the house and recharging, probably nose in a book. I've been reading a lot lately, which is super, super fun. I personally love that. That's how I recharge. But other than that, guys, thanks so much for tuning in and joining us on this weekly recap. Next week, we might be traveling, so you might get us live in a different environment, so just a heads up on that. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. If this episode has offered any value at all, please go ahead and like, as well as possibly comment if you have a question. Feel free to share it if you found value or you know other people have value.
We're on YouTube and all that kind of fun stuff also.
Yeah, so do you have
YouTube.com
the YouTube URL? So we'll be on YouTube as well.
I don't have it on there.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Okay, so just go to YouTube. You can just do a Google search of Big Red SEO.
That's the website.
Right? The information's there as well. But other than that, we hope you have a great Friday.
Have a great day, guys.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
See you later.
All right, so now I got to figure out the rest of the buttons. Keep on talking.
You just stop the stream. You just stop this stream.
I clicked the button.
Just stop it.
All right, guys.
Hello, Governor.